All right, we're sign of Christ. We're about to get this thing started. All right, so let's clap it up. We're at the I.S.U.P.K. out of 1 West 125th Street under commanding General YAHANNA. We teach blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans the truth according to the scriptures and history and archaeology and everything else. So today we are having a Sabbath service, so to speak. Today is a high holy day, a feast day, and it's the Feast of First Fruits. So today we're going to have a class over that. We're going to kind of get into that. And yeah, so we're going to get into it. So Amadia means to rise. Wapanya Hakadam means to face the east. So that's what we'll do. For me, it's this way. Let's see. Again, if anyone has any questions or comments, put them in the chat. Be more than happy to answer. So first thing we're going to do is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Laba'ah, Ratazayaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kaya, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nathan Salakia, Nathan Lanawa, Lakam, Ka, Yawam, Wasalak Lanawa, Kabawat Yanawa, Kasalak Yanawa, Kabawat Yanawa, Wala'ah, Tabahaya Nawa, Barasaya 1, Abal, Hawashaya Nawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Salaki, Kayalaka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahat the Salaki, Wahat the Parah, La'awalamyam, Aman. So what we just said in the English, what we just read in the English, or what we just said in the English, Salaki. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts. And forgive us our Salaki, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Most High Christ, that was the Lord's Prayer. Give me 1 second. Next, we're gonna read the prayer of the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashah, Babakushah, Nathan Lanaw, Hakak, Rapa'ah, Kal Maka'ala, Wakal Madawa, Hakak, Latahar, Hamatazarium, Hakak, Lahakwayum, Hamatyum, Hakak, Al Rakawah, Hatama'ala, the Garashin, Ba'ashem Yahawashah, the water. Amen. What we just said in the English, Lord, in the name of Yahawashah, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahawashah, thank you. So be it. Most High Christ. Again, if anyone has any questions or comments, maybe what's going on, what you're saying, feel free to put it in the chat. We should be good on Facebook and YouTube. Feel free to put it in the chat. What we're doing right now is you're experiencing what tongues truly is. So this is when the scripture talks about some tongues, this is truly what it is. You'll say, so where's your 2 or 3 witnesses? I would say any brother in the I.S.U.P.K. is a witness to what I am saying right now. Most High Christ. So next we're going to read the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shai, Wa Mayaka Allah, Wa Lahayim, Matazavia, Salakia. Give me 1 second. Yeah, give him your take your clothes outside. All right, Salakia, for the interruption. We're going to start that prayer again. That's the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shah, Wa Mayaka Allah, Wa Allahayim, Matazab Ya'ah, Alawap Yahanna, Ha Alawapyam, Ha Saranyam, Ha Kwatazanyam, Ha Koyoyo, Ha Koyoyoyam, Wa Ha Akwatian, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, the water. Amen. Now, what we just said in the English. Again, close this door right here. Close this door right here. Turn that TV down in there. Oh, Shah. So now, what we just said in the English. Again, if you're going to speak in tongues, it has to be a language that somebody can understand, a real language, and you do need to have witnesses. As I said, anybody in the UPK can be witness to what I'm saying right now. You're experiencing someone speaking in tongues as they did in the scriptures. So what we just said in the English, bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yahanna, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, so be it. And Yahweh is just the Most High's name. Yahweh Shai is his son, Jesus Christ's name in the Hebrew. Next, we're going to read Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Ashah, Ayanya, Ahaharyam, Ma'yan, Yaba'ah, Isaiah, Ma'ayin, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Wa'arataza, Ayathan, Lamawat, Regarka, All Yanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashan, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazarka, Al, Yad, Yam Yanka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'ayakaka, Wa Yarak, Balayallah, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal, Rad, Yashamar, Napashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'afka, Wabawa'aka, Mayatha, Wa'aid, Iwalam. What we just said in the English. I will lift up my eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth and even forevermore. Most High in Christ. So that was Psalms 121 in English. Now we're going to read Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. So same thing we've been doing. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Salakia. Trying to get this, man. 1 second. Again, if anyone has any questions or comments, put them in the chat. We'll definitely clarify anything that you may be misunderstanding. See how that works. So this is Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, Aldamayalaka, Alta Garash, wa Alta Shaqua, Al YAHANNA, Awab Yab Yagda, Yahama Yawan, Ra'ash, Al Aimaka, Ya Aram Yawa, Sawada, Wayatha, Ya Aitazawa, Al Tazapon, Al Salakia, Al Tazapon, Pawanka, Al Tazapa Wanyaka, Amari, Lakawa, Wanaki Dum, Magawa, Wala'a Yazakar, Sham Yashrala, Iwada, Kaya, Waitizawa, Noah Aitizawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Al Yaka, Bar Yath, Yakar Thwa, Ahalia, Adawam, Waya Shamai, Alahani, Alaham, Mawa'aba, Wahagariam, Gabal, Wa'amawan, Wa'amalak, Palashath, Ein Yashapya, Tazawar, Gam Ashawar, Nalawa, Imam, Hayawa, Zarawai, Labayan Lawat, Selah, Aisha, Laham, Kamadyan, Kasaya, Kasaya Sara'ah, Kayabyan, Barakal, Koyashwan, Nashamadwa, Bayan, Da'arwa, Hayawa, Daman, Ladama, Shayathamwa, Nada Yabmawa, Nada Yabmawa, Karab, Wakazaaba, Wakazabak, Wakatazal, Manai, Ka Nasayakamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Nayar Shah, Lanawa, Ath, Nawath, Alahayan, Salakia. Give me 1 second. Hey, Shalom, what's going on? That I cannot be too sure of. I know, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if he gave y'all orders. I can't speak on that part. I know I tried to reach out, but I told you what happened that early. That's all I know. Hello, can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Okay, I can hear you. Right. Right. The only thing I need for sure, I knew was when you hear as far as, I didn't hear nothing about anywhere else. All you were supposed to hear was supposed to be the same phone we didn't have it, but it was competition. That's it. You just ended up having it out. But that's again, that's why I was trying to put the check yesterday. But like I said, we trying to reach out to everybody. That was on my fault, on my part. My fault. Yeah, that's what. But yeah, I think, can you hear me? Okay. Lord Christ. All right, Salaki. We're going to bang this out. All right, let's get it. All right, Alahaya. Where we at? Alahaya, Shayathamwa, Kagula Gullah, Kakwash. Or you know what? I was above that. Salakia. La Damwa, Shayathamwa, Nada, Yamawa, Karab, Ashar, Amarwa, Nair Shawa, Lanawa, Ath, Nawath, Alahayim, Alahaya, Shayathamwa, Kagula Gullah, Kakwash, Lapanya Rakwa, Ka'ash, Thabira Ya'ira, Wa Kalahaba, Thalahat, Harayam, Khan Tharadatma, Basairika, Wabasa, Wapafka, Tabahalam, Mala'a, Panyaham, Kwalawan, Waya Bakwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashua, Waya Bahalwa, Adya, Aid, Waya Kaparwa, Waya Abadwa, Waya Da'aiwa, Kaya Atha, Shamka, Yahweh, Labadka, Al Yawan, Al, Ka, Ha, Rataza. So now that was Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Now we're going to read it in the English. This is called speaking in the tongues. This is real speaking in the tongues. This is biblical speaking in tongues. Not what they do at that Christian church. So now, this is Psalms 83 in English. Keep not thy silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Selah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kasan, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb and like Zeeb. Yea, all their princes as Abab and as Amunah, who said, Let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. O my God, like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame that setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Lord, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. All right. Now, that is the last one. So with that, I would say Sar, meaning to turn around, and then Yeshabia means to be seated. Now we're going to get into these scriptures. Again, if anybody following along, we're going with Leviticus 23. We're just going to kind of knock that down real quick. Again, if you got any questions or comments, put them in the chat. We'll rock it out. Make sure we're good on both streams. Most High in Christ. All right. There we go. All right. So let me get there. Leviticus 23. In fact, I'm going to do those. I'm going to just get it straight out. It's my favorite. This is my Bible. This is my go-to right here. I mean, I got, what I'm saying, it's my go-to. Yeah, this is my go-to, but Lord knows I got at least 20, 30 Bibles in this house alone. You understand? When you really about these scriptures, you're gonna have it. I would say anybody that's truly about the scriptures, you got to at least have 3 to 5 Bibles at the least. If you really about God's work and everything, because you got to have one for a backup, obviously. Then you might need one to travel with. You might need one where you do certain studies with, one where you read out of, you teach out of. You might need one to give. You might give away a couple Bibles just because you need that, or somebody else may need that. You understand? Shoot, you might need to give a Bible away to an enemy so you can break it down and show them that they don't know what they're talking about. Because they can always come to one thing I know about the enemy, they always come to the excuse, well, I ain't got it right in front of me. No sweat. Let me help you. I get it right in front of you for you. That's why I got all these Bibles. I'm going to put it right in front of you and show you don't know what you're talking about. In UPK, that's what we do. We make sure you get an understanding on these scriptures. So again, let's say we're breaking down Leviticus 23. If you got any questions or comments, feel free to put them in the chat. They can be over Leviticus 23, or they can be about anything life, biblical, or in general. Feel free to, post your question. So let's see where we are. Give me 1 second. I'll get into Leviticus 23. Most High, Kurt Shalom. How about you, man? Shabbat. What's going on? This brother right here can vouch that I am speaking in tongues. He can vouch for what I said. Most High Christ. So we're going to start Leviticus 23. Let me get some air running in here, yeah? Man, I can't do it without the air. Lord, be with me. Oh, yeah. It's nice and cold. So Leviticus chapter 23 says, And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them. So right there, I just want to stop right there because that is heavy, that you understand that this is a theme throughout the whole Bible. It says, Speak unto the children of Israel. You understand? It does not say speak unto everybody that believeth. Speak unto everybody that wants to be down. It says, Speak unto the children of Israel and say unto them. That's biblical. That's not hate speech. That's not racism. That's just biblical. That's what it says. Now, the scriptures also says, do not add nor take it from his word. So I'm not going to add nobody to that, nor am I going to take anybody away. It means what it says, speaking to the children of Israel. So the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is who he's speaking to, man. It's that simple. Nothing more, nothing less. Exactly what it says. So let's get into it. Verse 2, Speak unto the children of Israel, say unto them, concerning the feast of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, even these are my feasts. So people always say, man, when you serving the Lord, it's boring because, man, ain't no Christmas, ain't no this, ain't no that. You right, ain't no Christmas. It ain't no what's the day in the world. Today in the world, I think it's Memorial Day or something like that. It ain't none of that. The only thing we're going to honor in these scriptures is what God tells us to honor. And guess what? Our feast days are greater than yours. There's not a Christmas I ever had. There's not a Thanksgiving I ever had that lines up with any Passover I ever had. Every Passover kills that by 10. I'm going to tell you right now, I go to the Passover because, all our feasts are great. But the Passover is when you get the whole nation in one city. And oh Lord, when you bring Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans together, you get them all in one city. That city is lit for that whole entire time, man. You understand? This past year, we were just in Carolina. The year before that, we was in Florida. I'm going to tell you right now, all of them great Passovers, man. And I'm sure brothers can speak to this, but for me personally, there wasn't a Christmas, a Halloween. You could put all those holy, they're not holy days. What is it called? I don't even forget the holidays. You put all those holidays together. Every one I had, put them all together, and it doesn't amount to a tenth of the fun, enjoyment, a great time I had in Houston for the Passover. Doesn't even amount to it. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm not joking. That's just the facts of the matter, man. It was epic. You understand? So this past year was epic, man. The feast days of the Lord just trump everything about America. That's just what it is. That's the reality of it. This is why we try to tell our people, man, serving the Lord is not a boring thing. If you're doing it righteously, you really ain't supposed to be boring at all. You ain't got to be corny, stuck up in a corner somewhere, making sure you don't sin or breathe the wrong way. That's not biblical. That's just religion. You know what I'm saying? The reality of it is it's not hard to keep the Lord's laws. And these feast days are part of his laws. So let's get into it. So, verse 3, 6 days shall work be done, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of rest and holy convocation. Ye shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings. So there it goes again. It says six. This is the first thing he's trying to break down to us. 6 days shall work be done. So, like, you give me 1 second. All right, so Lucky, I'm back in the building. Outside. Where we at? Oh, there we go. So, first thing he break down to us is what? 6 days shall work be done, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of rest, a holy convocation. So, guess what that means? We're supposed to keep that. You understand? We're supposed to keep the Sabbath day. That means it's a 7-day Sabbath, meaning on the seventh day, you rest. Whatever that seventh day is, you rest. It's not according to the moon. It's according to the 7 days. 7th day, you rest. Period. How do I know? Because for one, it's right here in the Bible. 2, it says, look at the end of this. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings. In all your dwellings. Meaning you can't go into captivity and say, well, I'm in captivity. I ain't got to worry about that. No, you go into captivity, you keep the Sabbath day, even in your captivity, because it's in all your dwellings. Meaning no matter where you go on earth, you keep the 7-day Sabbath. That's biblical. It's a holy convocation unto you. It's the Sabbath of the Lord. You understand? Let's keep getting in it. Let's get into it some more. All right, verse 4. These are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons. So these are the feasts of the Lord that we're about to get into. We keep them in their seasons. So like it. 1 second. Make sure we still good over here. Outside Christ with 2 eyes. All right, so these are the feasts of the Lord. Let's get into it. Verse 5, in the 14th day of the first month at even is the Lord's Passover. So at the beginning of the year, the first feast we will be keeping, outside of obviously Sabbath days and things of that sort, is the Lord's Passover. We, again, like I said a little bit earlier, we just had that when? A couple months ago. Was it a couple months ago? Where we at? May? March. Yeah, in April. So yeah, that end of March, beginning of April, we had Passover. It was a glorious Passover. We had it in Carolina. Again, the Passover is greater than any birthday you ever had. It's greater than any Christmas, any Memorial Day, any Easter you've ever had. It's greater than any of that. How do I know? Because I've done both of them. I've served both of them. I've kept both of them. And guess what? It doesn't compare. You understand? It doesn't even begin to compare. So you got to keep that Passover. You understand? When we're reading, everything we're doing, we're keeping in all our dwellings. Wherever we go, we keep these things. You understand? So it says, in the 14th day of the first month at even is the Lord's Passover. Verse 6. And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread unto the Lord. So the Feast of Unleavened Bread, you understand, is literally the day after. The day after Passover, we keep it's the beginning of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. And what we do is we get all the leaventh out our house. All leaventh got to go. It's a number of things to go with it every year, you know, in our household, you know, usually a couple days prior to Passover, we try to get all the leaventh out the house. Why? Because we want to keep these laws. We understand keeping these laws is what brings us closer to the Most High in Christ. And that's where we want to be. You understand? So we get all the yeast out our house. You know what I'm saying? Anything that has a rising agent in it, as far as cooking, we get it out the house. It has to go. And we do that. We're about to read. Let's see how long we do that. 7 days you must eat unleavened bread. So for 7 days, pretty much for a week, we eat unleavened food. No matter what it is, it has no leaven in it. You understand? The whole purpose of that is to get the leaven out of your life, meaning rise a pride. You know how pride rises up in you sometimes? You know, the Lord will is almost like a humbling process to make you realize to be humble, to be thankful. You know what I'm saying? Thankful for the Most High, thankful for Christ, thankful for your brotherhood, man. You know what I'm saying? Somebody was telling me the other day, man, that you can graduate from the truth. I don't never want to graduate from my brothers, man. What kind of stuff is that? What kind of God are you serving that tells you you graduated from them niggas, man? Keep it pushing. Do your own thing. What kind of God is that? You understand? So, Lord will, you know what I'm saying? I'll never have to worry about that. But if that pride rises up in me to where I feel like I can graduate from the truth in my brotherhood, well, guess what? When this day come around, Lord will, he brings a spirit of humbleness upon me. You know what I'm saying? And I can realize, man, that got to go, man. I can't never graduate from the people I say I love. I can't never graduate from the people I say I would die for. That doesn't even begin to register in my head. You understand? You know, and Lord will, a lot of these brothers that say they, you know, in the body of Christ, that say they're in the body of Christ, but live totally different doctrines according to it. Lord will, when this day comes up, the Lord puts that spirit of humbleness on them and helps them realize the error of their ways. Because he definitely has to me, man. You understand? And it's a glorious thing. So now, let's go to verse 7. In the first day, ye shall have an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein. So on the first day of the feast of unleavened bread, you should have a holy convocation, meaning, you know, all the people of Israel, y'all get together in y'all city and y'all have a feast. Y'all have a party. Y'all have a good time. You know what I'm saying? And in that, you do no servile work, meaning what? You don't go clock in on this day. On this first day, you don't go clock in. Lord will, if you can, you let your boss know it's a holy convocation. Only blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are welcome to this thing that we're doing here, and I'm one of them. The Lord has seen fit to bless me and be a part of his chosen nation. I got to keep this holy convocation. I have to. I got to go drink, be merry, eat, cook, you know, dwell with my brothers, dwell with my sisters, show them that I love them, show them that I can't graduate from giving a damn. I mean, that I'm just like it. That just blows my mind, man. You can have so much, like, when you live in this truth, man, you start to realize this is a straight and narrow path. And it's not many people that's on it. And I don't even care how much knowledge a brother may have. He can still not be on this path, man. It's crazy. You'd be surprised at some of the conversations I have with some brothers to say they're in the truth. But then you see how they're living, and even they can't explain biblically why they're doing what they're doing. You understand? Just Lord will, one of these feast days help them to come back and realize the error of their ways. You know, I know I would love for us to be keeping these feast days, and literally 90% or more of every black, Hispanic, and Native American in the city is attending the feast days. I would love to have the issue of, I don't know where we're going to hold this. We have too many people. We have too many people that care about each other, that say no to black on black violence. You know, they say no to drugs and selling drugs in their neighborhood. They say no to horror. and say, I will fight to keep my family than to fight to be independent of anything, because it's not biblical. I would love to have that issue, man. But again, you have to have love for your people. You have to have a love for something greater than yourself. And to me, the thing greater than myself is obviously the Most High in Christ, but my people are greater than me, for me. There's times I don't feel motivated and don't want to, but I understand my people are fighting a battle or fighting a war they don't even realize they're in. So therefore, I have to rise up. I have to go do class. I have to do this. I have to teach, Sabbath service. I have to do what? Have camp. I have to. Because my people are fighting and losing a war they have no clue they're even in. Man. So that's what it's for, man. That's what it's about. And these feast days, what you'll notice with these feast days, in one way or another, they're constructed to kind of help us, of course, come together, embrace, love each other, but for us to kind of realize not only how blessed we are to be in this truth, but to realize how much our people need this truth. See, our feast days have meaning and purpose behind them. You understand? Not just demons and bullcrap. It's not about that. That's what, Halloween and Christmas and your birthday, that's what all that's about. But our feast days have real spiritual rooted purpose, man. It means something. And that's why you should celebrate this and not Memorial Day. Because us celebrating this, what we're doing right here, it means something. It helps. It has God looking at us like, okay, that's who I'm dealing with. Those are the people that are coming back to me. Those people matter. Everybody serving Memorial Day, it's like, all right, well, they still don't matter. They still don't care. Lord be with them. That is what it is. But those people over there, they serving the Feast of First Fruits. Or is it, yeah, it is the Feast. Okay, yeah. Feast of First Fruits. Those people matter. Those people care. Those people are paying attention to what God says. Those people want to hearken to his ways. And Lord will, that will have him having favor on us in this wicked world. So let's keep going. Where we at? So verse 8, but ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord 7 days. And in the 7th day is a holy convocation. You shall do no servile work therein. So on the first day of this and on the 7th day, it's a holy convocation. We come together, we eat food. We should do no servile work. We should not be clocking in. Some people will say, well, do you give an offering every day? Yes, myself, my life, Christ. That's what that was about. You understand? There's no greater sacrifice than him. And then us serving him is us giving our life every day to him in his will and his work. That's what we do in the UPK. So we make this sacrifice 365, 7 days a week. You understand? Verse 9, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 10, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when ye be come into the land which I give unto you, and shall reap the harvest thereof, then ye shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest. So that means your first fruits. Basically, everything that springs forth first, that's the first fruits. Whatever it's the corn, it's your vegetables, it's your the cattle, whatever it is, the first fruits of it. The first profitable things of it. Instead of you making that money or eating good or whatever, you give all that to the Lord. You understand? It's almost like you can look at this first fruits thing. It's almost like you making your first million, and instead of showing off and getting the jewelry and the cars and the houses, you say, "Oh, my first million, man! I worked hard for this. This was crazy. Here, Lord, it's all yours." That's what that means. See, I'm thinking about just giving away a couple apples, some oranges, and calling it a day. Now, that ain't what this is. It's a little bit deeper than that. See, what you got to realize is our system was a little bit different back then. We didn't have, white slave masters on money, and that represented a monetary system. That wasn't how that went. Your first fruits, whether it was vegetables, meats, fruits, whatever it was, that was your value system. If you had a lot of it, you was rich. If you didn't have much of it, you was poor. That's what it was. So that's why I say it's like you making your first million and literally taking all that million, saving it up, saving every penny of your first million and saying, here, Lord, here you go. I trust that there's much more to come where, or there's much more where this comes from. That's what this represents. You understand? And that's what this truth, that's what the Lord, his ways, and being obedient to him is supposed to mean to you. See, when I said that million, now you understand, oh, this is supposed to mean something. You're damn right. That's exactly what this is. That's why I said our feast days have meaning. It goes deeper than all that bull crap they try to shove down our throats with the Memorial Day and Halloween and all that. It goes deeper than that, man. You understand? Ours show true value. Ours show, if you keeping these, yeah, I know you truly down for what God says. You understand? Let's keep going. Where we at? Verse 11. And he shall wave the sheaf before the Lord to be accepted for you. On the morrow after the Sabbath, the priest shall wave it. So that was a process of what they did with that. And verse 12. And ye shall offer that day when ye wave the sheep and the lamb without blemish of the first year for a burnt offering unto the Lord. That goes into what I was just saying. That lamb without blemish, that's your first profitable lamb. That's the one that you looking at like, man, I finally did it. This the one, like when I cut this up and sell this, I break this down and sell this off, this going to be the one that's going to put my family on top. And what you do, you cut that thing down and you give it all to the Lord. You don't make $1 off of it. And you take pride in not making any money off of that. You are joyful in not making $1 off of that lamb without blemish. That you just know, if I put it out there, this is the one that's going to put me on the map. You take pride in that. That's what that is. Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to get that first big check and say, here, it's all yours, Lord? I don't care if it's $100, $1,000, $1 million, whatever it is for you. Or would you be willing to do that? Because guess what? That's what we did as a nation, year in and year out. Faithfully. See, we had to prove ourselves. We had to show we were truly down on what the Lord wanted. And that's what the Lord wants of us today, to show that we are truly down for his cause. We're not just talking it, we're truly about it. This is why we say this thing is a warfare. It's easy to say, I serve the Lord. Hey, Shalom, YAHANNA. You know, it's easy to do all that. It's easy to talk that talk. But is you about that walk, baby? Is you really down to get down and dirty? If your life had to be on the line right now to serve God, could you truly do that thing? See, I ain't trying to brag, and Lord will, you don't take it that way. But me personally, not only am I willing to do that thing, I'm ready to do that thing. Now, I want to be careful, because the Lord ain't nothing to play with. And I know, just like a lot of other brothers know, the Lord will put you in a predicament where he says, you ready to do that thing? Well, go do it. And so far, thank God I'm still here, we've done that thing. And I take pride in that more so than anything else. There's nothing I'm going to accomplish in this life more than me saying I am a certified priest of God. I earned it. I wasn't just given. There's nothing I can accomplish. You understand? And there's a lot of things I'm trying to do right now. And if I accomplish them, thank you, Most High in Christ, and they might even make more money than being a certified priest. So like it. Hey, Daddy teacher class. Y'all got to go over there, okay? No sweat. Hey, Shalom. But yes, I have more pride in being a certified priest in the I.S.U.P.K and the commanding general YAHANNA than I take in anything I've ever done. Whether it was athletics, sports, karate, anything. And I've done, my fair share of things with those things. But serving the Lord and truly finding the way, and then being certified in that way for men that have been verified and certified, oh man, it's nothing like it. It's nothing like it. You understand? This is the only thing, man, that nobody can come against. Like, don't get me wrong, people come against us all the time. But in the end, we have always been validated in the Most High in Christ. We have always been proven right that what we're doing is what all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans should be doing. And this is what we fight for. You understand? Hey, Shalom, YAHANNA, Lord Christ. No sweat, no sweat. We're going to get it in, man. So, man, listen. That's what I'm saying, man. Keeping these law, statutes, commandments, keeping these feast days, they have a deeper meaning, man. It's just not the surface level of what you think. It goes deeper. That's really why Christ had to come to show us the deeper meaning of these things. We taking it as the surface level, and if we just do that surface level thing, we good. No, man. This is supposed to mean something. You're supposed to live and ride and die by this thing, man. If you can't say you're doing that, man, you ain't serving the Lord, man. It's just that simple. Let's keep rocking it out. So it reads, verse 12, and ye shall offer that day when ye weigh the sheep and the lamb without blemish of the first year for a burnt offering unto the Lord. 13, and the meat offering thereof shall be 2/10 deal of fine flour mingled with oil, and an offering made by fire unto the Lord for a sweet savior. And the drink offering thereof shall be of wine, the fourth part of it. So that lets you know right there. First of all, drinking is not illegal in Israel. I'll repeat, drinking alcohol is not illegal in Israel. You don't believe me? See, I just proved it. Just proved it. That was good. That was good. It was cold, too. It's cold. Drinking alcohol is not illegal. What's illegal is being a drunkard. Being a drunkard is someone that's addicted to it, that drinks it when they shouldn't be drinking it. Whether I drink it, then I'm watching my kids. You probably shouldn't be drinking while watching your kids. You understand? You probably shouldn't be drinking while about to go to work. You understand? Being a drunkard is illegal. Not drinking wine or drinking alcohol or whatever, that's totally fine with the Lord. He even told us to bring it for a feast day. You understand? Let's keep reading. Where I want. It's 13, 14. So verse 14. And ye shall eat neither bread nor parched corn nor green ears unto the selfsame day that ye have brought an offering unto your God. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. So guess what? Everything it was just talking about, this is a statute forever in all our dwellings. What does that mean? Even if we go into slavery, we are to do everything it said from this point and before forever. That means your Sabbath day, Passover, you know what I'm saying? The Feast of First Fruits, the Feast of Unleavened Bread, all that we do forever. You understand? Give me 1 second. Yes, we do that forever in all our dwellings, wherever we go. So don't let nobody tell you we are not to do these things. This is the second or third time it said in all your dwellings. We're only halfway through the chapter. You understand? You want to sit down? You can sit down. No sweat. All right, well, go ahead. You need something? Okay, no sweat. Yeah, so we are to do all this in all our dwellings. Don't let nobody tell you you can't keep the Lord. Don't let nobody. You in America, and if you can keep Christmas, you can keep the Passover. You can keep Thanksgiving, you understand? You can keep the Feast of Unleavened Bread. If you can keep Memorial Day, you can keep the Feast of First Fruits. Don't ever let nobody tell you in captivity you can't keep a feast day of the Lord, man. That sounds crazy. I can't keep the feast days of the Lord. I'm wrong in trying to do that. But it's okay to do Easter, to say ho, ho, ho. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Don't let nobody ever tell you you can't do something for the Lord. If the Lord say it, we can do it. You understand? The Lord say it, you can do it. Most High in Christ. Let's keep going. Verse 15. And ye shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath, from the day that ye brought the sheep of the wave offering, 7 Sabbaths shall be complete. Verse 16. Even to the morrow after the 7th Sabbath shall ye number 50 days. And ye shall offer a new meat offering unto the Lord. Verse 17. Ye shall bring out of your habitations 2 wave loaves of 2/10 deal. They shall be of fine flour. They shall be baken with leaven. They are the first fruits unto the Lord. You understand? So you're going to hook up something mighty fine for the Most High. Verse 18. And ye shall offer with the bread 7 lambs without blemish of the first year, and 1 young bullock and 2 rams. See, you looking at it as just food and meat. That right there, back then, that value might have been over $100,000 right there more. That could have been $100,000 or more right there. You just give all that away to the Lord. Just don't even think about it. Just do that and take joy in doing it. You understand? That's what this thing is about. Let's keep going. They shall be for a burnt offering unto the Lord, with their meat offering and their drink offerings, even an offering made by fire, a sweet savor unto the Lord. Verse 19. Then ye shall sacrifice 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and 2 lambs of the first year for a sacrifice of peace offerings. So all this is truly him taking monetary value and giving it to the Lord. This is what's going on. Like you see lambs and corn and all that. This is really monetary value. This was our monetary system. And we're supposed to be able to take these things and give unto the Lord freely, joyfully. And that's what we should be doing today. You know what I'm saying? Paying your tithes and your offerings, 10% or whatever you make, whether it's $1 or $1 million. You understand? Verse 20. And the priest shall wave them with the bread of the first fruits for a wave offering before the Lord, with the 2 lambs. They shall be holy to the Lord for the priest. So when it says they shall be holy to the Lord for the priest, meaning only the priest is touching these. You understand? It's holy for the Lord, to the Lord for the priest. Verse 21. Salakia. And ye shall proclaim on the selfsame day that it may be an holy convocation unto you. Ye shall do no servile work therein. There it goes again. You shall do no servile work therein. Servile means you should not be slaving. Slaving means whatever your career is, your job is, your occupation is. That is considered servile work. You should do no servile work therein. See, a lot of us look at it today as like, oh, that ain't no big deal. You ain't got to tell me twice not to work. And this is also why I say it's a spiritual thing as far as when people say, well, black people are lazy, this, that, and the third. Back then, when we were getting these laws, it was to build up our communities, to build up our cities, to build up our country, to build up our land. So we were beyond motivated and ecstatic to be able to work. 7 days, we would have worked 8 days if possible. We're building up our stuff. Everything we're building up is for us. We make 100% value off of it. And once we die, we give it to our family. You dang right. Every generation wanted to build something bigger, to give down, to keep, to make more valuable, to make more money, to be known throughout their own nation, among their own people, to be validated within their own. You're right. We were motivated. This is why he had to put the law in. A lot of people looking like, you ain't had to tell us twice not to work. You're right. Today, because today you work for the same people that raped, robbed, and killed you. But you got to, because that's the only way you can provide for your family. That's how you understand that you are in captivity. You shouldn't be under those predicaments. We're only in these predicaments because we're in captivity. We are at war. The fact that we got to go work for the oppressor, that should say it all right there. If we want to do anything of value, we got to go work for the oppressor, get paperwork signed or authorized by the oppressor. Everything got to go through the oppressor. You're right. We're not going to be motivated to do that, because if we build up something really great, only a couple things can happen. We'll build up something really great, like we've done hundreds of times plus in America, where we build up something great, and then they take credit for it and they get the millions and the billions for it. Or we build up something great and then they put some type of law or something in place to where we can only make it of so much value until we give over, so much percentage to them. You understand? That's the only way it works here. But in our land, we were motivated to make something great. The people around us wanted to make those great things. This is how we were understood to be the greatest nation, because we were motivated to work. They seen us working and they were like, man, those people over there are doing great things. Yeah. Once we together doing it for ourselves and for our people, for our kids, when I can look this way to this house, this way to this house, this way to that house, and they all look like my people. You're right. We fighting for that. When I look at my leaders and I understand, shoot, they come from where I come from. You're right. We fighting for that. When I can understand that my leaders aren't lying, scum, pieces of trash, you're right. We're fighting for that. But that ain't what it is today. Everything we do and build, you can work 30, 40, 50 years for a factory, and all you're doing is making some white man and his family filthy rich. While you break your back, hurt your knees, mess up your hands, your looks just drain. You get fat while having to work more hours. It's just you're eating unhealthy because you eating on their schedule whenever they say you got to work. Who's going to be motivated to do that? That's just the reality of it, man. So, yeah, he had to put a law in place to tell us you have to take a day off of work. I know you love it, but you have to take a day off. To me, that right there should show you that work for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans in America is mental and spiritual. Because in America, you don't have to tell us to take a day off. You're going to have to tell us, you got to at least work 3-4 days, man. In America, you at least got to work 3-4 days. Come on, man, give me something. We are happy and willing and ready to take days off in America. But when we were building up us, you couldn't get us to stop. You understand? Let's keep going. 19, is that what I want? 20, no, we read that. Right. End of 21. It shall be a statute forever in all your dwellings throughout your generations. Again, there it is again. Statute forever in all your dwellings, through all your generations. Verse 22. Hey, Shalom, how y'all doing? They're okay if they want to listen, as long as they're not loud. They can listen. You should be over here, so it's okay. And when 22, and when you reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not make clean riddance of the corners of thy field. When thou reapest, neither shalt thou gather any gleaning of thy harvest. Here we go. We're going to come back and break this down. Thou shalt leave them unto the poor, and to the stranger. I am the Lord your God. So what did he just tell us? Let's read it. This law right here, it tells you how to deal with the poor, man. It tells you how to help build up your nation, man. It tells you how to make sure that, these libraries, like every Saturday morning, man, we at these libraries trying to teach a Sabbath class, man, whether it's Cincinnati or Dayton or whatever. And guess who is filled up with? More than anybody. Half of the people there is homeless people. Because they ain't got nowhere to go. They don't know where to go for hope. They just trying to survive, man. They just trying to make it to the next day. But this is why the Lord put this law in, man. Because unlike a lot of these people that say they serve the Lord, unlike them, the Lord and his men in the I.S.U.P.K. actually give a damn about the poor, man. I don't care how you got there. Let's get you up out of it. And then we'll deal with how you got there and how you'll never be there again, Lord will. Verse 22, let's read it. And when ye reap the harvest of your land, so when you reap the harvest, meaning you're picking up all the corn, the vegetables, whatever, the fruits, the whatever. When you reap that harvest, it's time to pick it up, and it's all grew to fulfillment and everything like that. When you reap this harvest of your land, thou shalt not make clean riddance of the corners of thy field when thou reapest. Meaning, the edges of your field, you are not to pick up everything. You understand? If something falls in your field and it's on the ground, you leave it there. The edges all around your field, you do not pick them. You leave that. You leave that. You say, but it's mine. I can make an extra $100,000 off that. I can make an extra $1 million off that. Good. That means it's worth something. Leave it. You leave that there. And this is why. Neither shalt thou gather any gleaning of thy harvest. The gleaning, meaning the edges, meaning the things that fall, you don't glean, you don't pick that up. Like, oh man, a piece of corn fell, or apple fell, whatever, cabbage fell, whatever, you leave it. Thou shalt leave them unto the poor. You understand? That's what the corners and the gleanings are for. Meaning the edges of your field and any food that drops while it's growing belongs to the poor. That's their biblical governmental right in Israel. And if you're caught doing that, you can be punished one way, shape, or form. I'm not saying you're going to die and all that, but there may be a punishment. Maybe next year you got to give up more of your harvest or whatever. Whatever the men above say, whatever the Lord says, that's what's going to happen. But by law, you have to leave that food for the poor. Now, that does two things. One, it makes sure that the poor can survive. Two, it motivates you not to hate, but to help the poor. Because if you truly don't like it, well, you serve the Lord, you got to do it. Well, what's the next best thing? Hey, man, come here, let me help you out, man. If I could show you how to do this, you think you can do anything with this? Or what's some of the qualities, gifts you got, man? What's something you good at? Man, for real? Well, guess what, man? I know these people over here, man. I can kind of get you hooked up with them, man. Shoot, by this time next year, man, shoot, you gonna have to get people about your harvest. See, that's what this thing is meant to do, man. If you truly love your people, man, if you truly know how to love something more than you love yourself, that's what this thing is about, man. It's for the poor and to the stranger. I am the Lord your God. Now, some people will look at that and say, see, it's to the stranger. You got to let the Edomites eat. You got to let the Hamites eat. It has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with them. They shouldn't be nowhere near my fields. And if they are, I'm going to make sure there's a shotgun waiting for them. You understand? Unless they are doing the picking of my field, which I see about that if I can trust them. I don't know if you trust them as far as you can see them. And you see I wear glasses, and I can't see that far. This stranger that is talking about is not a heathen, not a person of another nation. This stranger is talking about your people. Now, I'm not about to go get all the precepts right now, but there are precepts to break this down. And it shows that when it came to the was it the temple, the sanctuary or the temple, every tribe was a stranger to the Holy of Holies within the temple. Every tribe was a stranger to the Holy of Holies. Now, we're talking about Judah, Benjamin, you understand, Issachar, Gad, all of them. The only people that were not strangers to it were the Levites. The Levites, they could go in the Holy of Holies whenever. If you're a Levite, you got a right to go in there. But Judah would be a stranger to it. You understand? So now, the same principle is taken here. How could I be a stranger if I'm of the nation of Israel? Well, there was a time when Moses was given each tribe their portion of land, and the Gadites were here, and you understand. I almost said Moab, but not Moab. But Manasseh was here, the Gadites were here, the Judites were here, the Reubenites were there, whatever. Now, let's say you were traveling or you hit hard times or whatever the case may be. Well, if I'm a Reubenite and now I'm in the land of Judah, I am a stranger in that land. Yes, these are my people. Yes, they are my brother. Yeah, they're going to love me like I'm an Israelite, this, that, and the third. But I belong in the land of Reuben. But I am traveling and I found myself in the land of Judah. It's no different of how it should be if, okay, we're in Dayton, Ohio. And I ain't never been out of Dayton. But then I travel and I go up to Cleveland, Ohio. That's my first time in Cleveland. You think I know anything about Cleveland? I could be on the worst street in Cleveland, and everybody in Cleveland know, nigga, you should not be there. I have absolutely no clue. No clue. Because I am a stranger in Cleveland. That's what the scriptures is talking about. You understand? Just like a brother from Cali would be a stranger in Dayton. But because we live by these laws, statutes, commandments, guess what? It's my duty to make sure that brother feel like he at home. And that's what this is going into. It's my duty to make sure he don't feel like a stranger, even though that is technically what he would be. That's what this thing is about, man. You got to love blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans more than you love yourself. It's that simple. This is why I say you can't infiltrate the UPK, because you can't fake loving people more than you love yourself. You either do or you don't. You can't fake this. You can do it for a time, for a season, but in here we endure it to the end. So eventually your true colors is going to come out, whether you're about that life or not. You understand? I feel safe in saying the brothers I dwell with, especially in this Southern Ohio region, all over, but Southern Ohio for sure, we about our Father's business. We love blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans more than we love ourselves. You understand? Most High Christ for that. Let's keep reading. So, verse 23, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, 24, unto the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, in the 1st day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial of the blowing of trumpets, and a holy convocation. You understand? So now we're getting into the memorial of the blowing of trumpets. It's a holy convocation. You treat it the same way. Let's go. 25. Ye shall do no servile work therein, but ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. So now you offer an offering made by unto the Lord. We know what that goes into. 26. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, also on the 10th day of this 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. Glorious day, I'll tell you that. Day of atonement. This will make a man or a woman out of you. I'll tell you that for sure. The Day of Atonement. It would definitely make a man or a woman out of you. Osai Christ. Shalom. Yahabashimukatah. So the Day of Atonement. Done this a couple times, plenty of times. I think I can say I've done at least 6 or 7 Day of Atonements. And the Day of Atonement is pretty much where you fast. You seek to starve yourself. Why? Because fasting gets out impurities. It's almost, fasting is almost like cleansing. It's cleansing you spiritually, cleansing you physically, cleansing you mentally. You understand? It's also making you tougher. It's making you restrain yourselves from something you know not the body not only needs, but it wants. See, the Day of Atonement spirit is the same spirit that you would use to help fight any addiction. You understand? You have to have this spirit of Day of Atonement to be able to defeat the spirit of addiction. You have to be able to resist the exact thing you want. You fight, and you fight to resist it. You do whatever you can to resist that thing. That's what the Day of Atonement is about. You understand? Most High in Christ. Let's keep going. Where we at? I'm going to read 28 again. And ye shall do no work in the same day, for it is the Salakia. 27. Also on the 10th day of the 7th month, there shall be a Day of Atonement. It shall be an holy convocation unto you, and ye shall afflict your souls and offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. 28. And ye shall do no work in that same day, for it is a day of atonement, to make an atonement for you before the Lord your God. So it says to make an atonement for you for the Lord your God, meaning what? Anything you need to fix, anything you need to heal from, anything you need to be forgiven of, anything you need to know your nation needs. That's what you seek that day. While you're fighting that spirit of whatever it is you want, and you saying no, which is food and water on this day, you're also praying for yourself, you're praying for your family, you're praying for your nation, and you do that thing with a glorious face, man. You better look like the most glorious person in Israel. And nobody should know you're fasting. It shall be in a holy convocation unto you, and ye afflict your souls, and offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. 28. And ye shall do no work in the same day, for it is the Day of Atonement, to make an atonement for you before the Lord your God. So we're not doing no servile work. Not going to be clocking in that day, Lord will. If your oppressor is just ignorant and, just evil and doesn't care, they're going to do and make you clock in. But Lord will, you can get that day off too. All these are feast days. You should be getting them off. 29. For whatsoever soul it be that shall be not be afflicted in that same day, he shall be cut off from among his people. So you understand, if you're not doing this and keeping this day, you'll be cut off from among your people. That also could make you a stranger. So let's say I'm of the tribe of Benjamin or the tribe of Judah or whatever. And I say, you know what? I don't feel like being hungry today. I think I'll take this Day of Atonement off. I'll catch you next year. If that's found out that I did that and I did that in that type spirit, well, guess what? I'm cut off from my people. Now I'm thrown out of Israel. And I got to be out there for a certain amount of time before I can even think about coming back. That makes me a stranger. So there are many ways our people could become strangers. To think that you see stranger that automatically means somebody else. Once I found out all the ways that we could become strangers, it's almost laughable to think that when you see stranger, it ain't talking about us. What people fail to realize is, as of today, right now, as you breathe, as you hear my voice right now, most of Israel is strangers. Most of them. Most of the blood-born people of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, 95% or more are strangers. That's just a fact. 95% or more of Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are strangers to Israel. Meaning they don't know nothing about keeping these laws. They don't even know it was their people. There was Moses, Christ. They don't even know Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. They don't know that's their forefathers. They don't know nothing about this. They're strangers. So to me, it's laughable to think you see Israel and they can't be strangers. I mean, that's what most of them are today. Let's keep reading. 30. And whatsoever soul it be that doeth any work in that same day, the same soul will I destroy from among his people. The Lord ain't playing. You better be keeping this Day of Atonement. 31. Ye shall do no manner of work. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. How many times we got to say this? It seems like every 4 to 5 verses, he's throwing all your dwellings, all your dwellings. Why? Because he wants you to remember we got to do this. All this stuff must be done. I don't care if you're in slavery, in captivity or not. You must keep these feast days. Verse 32. It shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and ye shall afflict your souls in the 9th day of the month at even. From even unto even shall ye celebrate your Sabbath. So even means the evening time. Even, they get evening from even. So the Lord said even, and people start saying, oh, it's evening. So from evening to evening, meaning when that sun is starting to go down, that's even time. To the next day when the sun is starting to go down. Even to even. 33. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, 34. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, the 15th day of the 7th month shall be the Feast of Tabernacles for 7 days unto the Lord. So now we're into the Feast of Tabernacles. On the first day shall be in holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein. 36. 7 days ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. On the 8th day shall be a holy convocation unto you. Ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. It is a solemn assembly. And ye shall do no servile work therein. We shall be doing no slaving, no clocking in, no punching the clock those days. You understand? Come here. That one. Come here. Shemai, come here. You listening to mommy? You listening to sissy? All right, be a good boy. Give me some. Boom, boom, boom. My God. Most High in Christ. Y'all know how it goes. You gotta make check on your little ones, man. Make sure they doing their thing, man. The goal with your little ones, this is not biblical. This is just my personal opinion. My goal is for my little ones to be greater than I ever could have imagined. So in that's why I know I have to serve God in righteousness. I have to get the spirit of caring about somebody other than myself to be able to even try to raise them as such. I want them to blow me out the water at every age. It's not even close. You understand? So gotta definitely look out for the little ones. Let's get back to these scriptures though. So where were we? Okay. Let's go 35. On the first day shall be an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein. 36. 7 days ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. On the 8th day shall be an holy convocation unto you, and ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. It is a solemn assembly, and ye shall do no servile work therein. There it is again, 37. These are the feasts of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, to offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord, a burnt offering and a meat offering, a sacrifice and drink offerings, everything upon his day. Salakia. 38. Beside the Sabbaths of the Lord, and beside your gifts, and beside all your vows, and beside all your free will offerings, which ye give unto the Lord. 39. Also in the 15th day of the 7th month, when ye have gathered in the fruit of the land, ye shall keep a feast unto the Lord 7 days. On the first day shall be a Sabbath, and on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath. There it is again, that first and 8th day. Verse 40. And ye shall take you on the first day of the boughs of goodly trees, branch of palm trees, and the boughs of thick trees, and willow of the brook. And ye shall rejoice from the Lord your God 7 days. And ye shall keep it a feast unto the Lord 7 days in the year. It shall be a statute forever in your generations. Ye shall celebrate it in the 7th month. Verse 42. Ye shall dwell in booths 7 days. All that are Israelites born shall dwell in booths. 43. That your generations may know that I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. Verse 44. And Moses declared unto the children of Israel the feast of the Lord. Most High in Christ. That ends that. So those are all the feasts of the Most High. The Most High in Christ, man. This is what the Lord has commanded us to keep. Not your birthday, not Thanksgiving, you understand? Not Christmas, not no Memorial Day, where you cook up all the pig and disgusting beasts of the field that you can eat. No, you keep these feasts, these high holy days. They get the word holiday from holy day. You understand? But they know they can't call their stuff holy days. They can only call their stuff holidays because they know ain't nothing holy about their holidays. You understand? So with that, we're gonna make sure ain't no more questions. All right, Most High in Christ. So now let's get straight into it. There we go. So Amadi means to rise, stand. Well, it means to stand. Rise is Kwam. It's like. So Amadi then Wapanya Akidam means to face the east. For me, it's this way. Let's raise this up, see if we can do a little bit better this time. Looks like we can. All right. Yay me. There we go. All right. Oh, there we go. Let's rock it out. So now we're going to get into our prayers again. So like it, give me 1 second. So we're going to get into our prayers. The first prayer we're going to do, we're going to do the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwika, Taba'ah, Ratazayaka, Hayah, Aisha, Barataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nathan, Nathan Lanawa, Lakam, Ka, Yawam, Wasalak Yanawa, Kawawat Yanawa, Kasalak Yanawa, Kawawat Yanawa, Wala'ah, Labaya Nawa, Barasaya 1, Abal, Hawashaya Nawa, Mayan, Rad, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahata Para, La'ai Walamyam, Aman. Now, what we just said in the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Messiah in Christ. Next, we're going to read the prayer of the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Baba Kushai, Nathan Lanawa, Hakak, Hakak, Baba Pa'ah, Ka Maka'ala, Waka Marawa, Hakak, Latahar, Ha Matazarium, Hakak, Lahakoyim, Hamakyim, Hakak, Al Rakawa, Hatama'ala, Lagarshim, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the water. Amen. What we just read in the English. Lord, in the name of Yahweh Shai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out in the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you, so be it. Next, we're going to read the blessings in the Hebrew. All right? Blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shai, Wa Ma'aka'ala, Wa Alahayim, Matazabya, Alawap Yahanna, Ha Alawapyam, Ha Saranyam, Ha Kotazanyanyam, Ha Toyayoyam, Wa Ha'akwapyam, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the water Aman. What we just read in the English. Bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yahanna, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, so be it. Now we're going to read Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Ahahariah, Mayan, Yaba'ah, Isaiah, Ma'ayin, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Wa'aratazah, Ayathan, Lamawat, Regardka, All Shamarka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashan, Shawamar, Yasher Allah, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al, Yad, Yam Yanka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'ayakika, Wa Yarak, Balayallah, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal, Rai, Yashamar, Ak the Pashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'aka, Wabawa'aka, Mayatah, Wa'aid, I will alone. Now, Psalms 121 in the English, what we just said. I will lift up my eyes into the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth and even forevermore. Messiah in Christ. Next, we're going to read Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Allah, it's lucky. That's what I want. Yeah. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, al damiyalaka, al takarash, wa al tashakwat, al kayahana, awayab yakub, yahama yawan, wama shana yaka, nasha'awa, ra'ash, al imaka, ya'ira yamwa, sawada, ya tatazira, like. Not ready for that. Al Tazapawanka, Marwa, the Kawa, Wanakidum, Gawa, Wala'a, Yazakar, Sham, Yasharala, Iwata, Kaya, Nawatizawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Ayaka, Barya, Yakarathwa, Ahalya, Adawamu, Wayashamai, Alyam, Alayam, Moa'aba, Wahagarium, Gabal, Wamawan, Wamalak, Palashaf, Anya Shabia, Tazawar, Gam, Ashawar, Nalawa, Imam, Hayawa, Zarwai, uh, Labaya Lawat, Selah, Aisha'a, Laham, Kamaya, Kasaya, Sara'ah, Sara'ah, Kiyabian, Banakal, Kayashwan, Nashimadwa, Bayan, the Arwa, Hayawa, Daman, La Damra, Shayathamwa, Nada, Yamawa, Karab, Yakazaaba, Yakazaba, Yakatizal, Manai, Kal Nasayakamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Narashwa, Lanawa, Ath Naawath, Alahayim, Alahaya, Shayathamwa, Kigala Gula, Kikwash, Lapanya Rakwa, Kaash, the Byra Yaira, Wa Kalahaba, the Lahat, Harayam, Khan Aradama, Basairaka, Wa Basa, Wa Pafka, the Bahalam, Mala'a, Panyaham, Kwalawan, Wa Yabakwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Wa Yabahalwa, Aya, Aid, Wa Ya, Kaparwa, Wa Ya, Abadwa, Wa Ya, the Iwa, Kaya, Atha, Shamka, Yahawa, Babaka, Ayawan, Al, Kal, Ha Ratazah. Now, what we just read was Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Now we'll read it in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gebal, and Ammon, and Amalek, and the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Selah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kazan, which perished and endured. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Ored, and like Zeed, yea, all their princes as Zabah, and as Hamuna, who said, Let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. O my God, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Lord, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth. Most High in Christ. So now I would say sorry. So now we're going to close it out. We're going to do a courtesy salute for the brothers. Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak. How about Shem Yahweh Shabbat Yathmatah? That Sabbath service is dismissed. Most High in Christ.